We are back and black in the building. Even if you ain't black, you in the building, motherfucker. Shout out to everybody out there at the Core Plantation. You know I'm going to hit you with it. And I'm going to hit you with, did Jesus come back? Aw, damn. Y'all been doing all that bullshit and the nigga ain't here yet. Aw, that's okay. We'll catch him next time. Man, shout out to everybody out there at the Core Plantation. Shout out to everybody out there. Man, Mariah, I gotta get with you. I gotta get with everybody in the household, man, so I get them on camera, get them interviews. Even if you ain't on camera, I still want to interview. You know what I'm saying? So we can get some more footage up, so people can get a different perspective of how these corporate plantations work. Because they think that Warren is just making this shit up. So shout out to my cousin Mariah. Shout out to Tasha, Shawnee. Much love and respect to you, Shawnee. I know you out there. I know you listening. Philly in the building, stand up. Erica, I got nothing but love for you. You already know what it is. Shout out to everybody out there, man. David, man, that IG live was monumental to me, brother. Y'all need to go check out No Compromise TV. Go check out his podcast, man. That's my OG. I like to call him my OG. Brother's very knowledgeable about everything that's going on in the world today. And he is very well read, so that's why, you know what I'm saying, I love doing spaces with that brother and doing Instagram lives with that brother. We're going to start doing Instagram lives, man. But anyway, shout out to everybody that's out there, man. We got a couple things we're going to discuss. But the first thing we're going to discuss is Wakanda Forever. And I'm going to give my take, some spoiler alerts. It was exactly what I expected. So we're going to get into it. We're going to show you how it relates to black folk, foundational black Americans, and the system of racism and white supremacy. And we're going to see how we need to establish a system of justice. And I'm going to try to break it down as best as I can. I'm not going to give too many spoilers away, but yeah, don't hold your breath on the movie. But anyway, let's get into it, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to get into it, you know. Hey. Don't have me. Let me bust verse. You better work, bitch. Cause I'ma need my money. Because these food stamps ain't working. Yeah. Nah, I'm just fucking with y'all. Oh man, I got this shit down. Hey. Shout out to everybody out there, man. I'm just fucking around, man. But yeah, man. Man, it was. Let's just start out like this. The movie itself was exactly what I projected it to be and what I expected. And I'm gonna break some things down. I really didn't think they did Chadwick Boseman that much justice. They did okay, but they try to cram it all in. So I'll give them that part of Chadwick Boseman. R.I.P. to Chadwick Boseman. But they really should have brought Michael B. Jordan back as a character. They should not have killed him off. And I didn't like that. What I didn't particularly like, what I did like about the movie was Wakanda was strong and other nations were threatened by them. So I did like that. What I did not like is, I need everybody to go read They Came Before Columbus by Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. And I really need you to pay attention because I think it's in that book where it talks about Quetzalcoatl. That's the Serpent King. That's who that Aztec is supposed to be. Quetzalcoatl. I think it's Quetzal, something like that. I have to look it up. But he's the Serpent King. That's like their deity, their god, right? But what I don't like is how all of a sudden the Wakandans are afraid. Oh my God. Oh, that nigga scary shit. Like, oh no. And what I didn't like about Disney is they did a great job of bringing another racial group to be more powerful than us. Now, let me break this down to you. Okay, Iron Man and them, Iron Man's dad, he builds, which Iron Man ain't nothing but Ogun. You know, the Iron Warrior, whatever. Okay, but let me just break this down to you. Hey, what's happening, my sister Erica? Man, Erica, David, just hear me out. Now, I've watched all the Marvel movies. Now, y'all notice when Iron Man built Captain America and they made him a super soldier, right? Okay, he's supposed to be tough. He's supposed to be a super soldier. What happens when he can't fight someone that's more powerful than him? They call upon a deity god, Thor. So they get Thor to come and fight their battle, right? What happens when Thor can't beat a motherfucker? They bring Captain Marvel out, another god type shit. Now, where the fuck is the black gods? We got so many deities. So you can't call upon any of our deities? And all of a sudden, these people got vibranium like black folks? Stop, man. I was highly offended at that. And then people don't understand why, I'm telling you, Quetzalcoatl, go look that, it's the Serpent King. That's who that brother was supposed to be. And he was so strong and so fast. And everybody in this movie was so afraid of them. And I'm like, man, see, black folk can't have shit. James Youngblood, man, what's happening, my brother? Black folk can't have nothing. And let me tell you why black folk can't have nothing. Because they don't want us and our younger kids to see us as deities and gods. They want us to be subservient. So you have Black Panther, you know, aka the Black Panther. You have everybody around, and then all of a sudden, here comes Quetzalcoatl, and we can't find nothing to beat this nigga. He in the water, and Wakanda's supposed to be the most advanced country with technology, but you can't find nothing. I said, man, who did this shit, man? I just was very, very, very disappointed in that part because we're already portrayed as people that are volatile, but then we run away. You know, we're scary. They like to portray us as scary people, but then they like to portray us as violent. So which one is it gonna be? That's one. And then two, like I said, white folk, they get to call upon deities all day. Thor, they get to call upon Captain Marvel, who's stronger than everybody. You know, they get to call upon Phoenix. You know what I mean? All these deities that are black gods, but they get to call upon these deities. And when it comes to black folk, we can't call upon nobody. Since the Black Panther is dead, we can't use nobody else. I said, man, this is some bullshit. They want us to be the bullies or the villains. Exactly. We just can't be powerful and don't put up with no bullshit. And that's how, in my personal perspective, that's how it is in everyday life. They either want us to be the bullies or the villains. We just can't be strong and stand on principle and purpose. And I don't like that. I was just like, oh my God, I like Ryan Coogler, but come on, my brother. But Marvel, they going down. Marvel is going to be something that people are not going to take serious. The Eternals was horrible. They had that brother from ATL in there, tongue wrestling another nigga in there. They couldn't wait to put that on screen. You know, just like the newest Matrix. The newest Matrix, the Wachowski brothers, you know what I mean? I don't know what they call themselves doing with it. I didn't like it at all. The first three were classics. They made the Merovingian look like a bum in there. If you know anything about the Merovingians, go read the hagiography of the Merovingians. I got another book about the Merovingians that I got to read too. The Merovingians were very classy. They were known as the Saints. You know, that's where you get the Franks from. They're Frenchmen. Very, very elegant. They had nice hair. That's why in The Matrix Reloaded, the Merovingian, he kept kind of messing with his hair a little bit because they were very, very meticulous about their hair. And then in the last Matrix, they got the Merovingian looking like a straight bum. I was like, man, who did this? You know what I mean? And that Wakanda Forever, it was exactly what I expected. Niggas running and hiding, bucking their eyes, and then they got the little LGBTQ thing going on, which I didn't have no problem with. You got all them women in there, then ain't a lot of men. I didn't have no problem with that part. You like, why, Warren? Because I felt like they could have put that in there and they could have made it where Wakanda's technology was so powerful, nobody could fuck with them. And that everybody was trying to invade them to get those resources, and that they teamed up with the Aztecs. Not motherfucking where you fighting Aztecs and all of a sudden you gonna summon me and tell me what I need to be doing. I was like, man, this is some straight bullshit. I was not feeling that movie. Ryan Coogler, I'm sorry, I love you, my brother, town business, but goddamn Disney's full of shit when it comes to that. You know, of course, you know, Black Panther, the first movie, is a classic, and you'll never be replaced. But I did not like how they had Quetzalcoatl. They were able to summon up their god, but we can't summon up our god. We got Ogun. We got all the. Hey, what's going on? What's going on with it, David, man? I got nothing but love for you. Bro, I'm just giving my little... I'm trying not to give no spoiler alerts away, but I just was very disappointed in that movie of how they portrayed us as black folk. Just bucking our... And two, I want y'all to watch this movie because there is some undertone racism in it about how these Aztecs, they run the water and all this other stuff, and niggas, we can't do nothing to water. First of all, let me tell you something. Where do y'all think they got Admiralty maritime law? They got that from the Moors. The Moors ruled the sea. But they got niggas thinking that we don't like the water. That's why they perpetuated that racist undertone false narrative of niggas don't fuck with water and niggas don't swim. First of all, I love to swim. First of all, a lot of black folk like to swim. We ruled the water. That's what the Moors did. But they got you thinking everybody else ruled the water and we so scared. I just was like, damn, man, who wrote this, man? You know, and the only thing they got right was Quetzalcoatl. I'm gonna keep saying that because that's a serpent king. You know what I mean? But they got that serpent king from black folk. That deity didn't come from them, and how the Aztecs got, you know, their pyramids, but nigga, our pyramids are bigger and greater. Sorry. And everything that y'all did is a replica of what black folks did thousands of years ago. Yeah, boot and leg. I will not give Universal Studios my 20 bill to see them write my stories. Facts, sis. Facts. You know, I watch it because I want to see exactly what they're going to do. Like I said, they put history in there. If you read They Came Before Columbus, if I'm not sure, David or Erica, one of y'all correct me if I'm wrong, or even James, if in They Came Before Columbus, doesn't he talk about Quetzalcoatl? One of those books I read, it talks about Quetzalcoatl, the Serpent King, the Aztec Mayan Serpent King. You know what I mean? I just didn't like how they had us bucking our eyes and running, and we don't like water. And it's like, well, damn, if we the best at technology, then why the fuck we just can't build something to fuck this motherfucker up? And I just was like, man, what's up with all the bucking of the eyes and shit? I just like, oh my God. I knew they was gonna do that like that. And they should have just not killed off Michael B. Jordan and kept him in there. No diss to the sister, but everybody's not Wonder Woman. You feel me? The Olmecs civilized the Aztecs. Exactly, the Olmecs. And isn't that where because the Olmecs, the Aztecs, they worshipped Quetzalcoatl, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta look that up, man, because I haven't read that book, They Came Before Columbus, in a long time. I read that book like 2015, 2016. But yeah, man, and I get it. They made that, but what I didn't like was how we bucking our eyes. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden, Wakanda's this powerful nation, then all of a sudden we bucking our eyes. It's like, man, get the fuck out of here. But the Aztecs, they just powerful. You can't beat them. I said, oh my God, they killing me with this shit. And let me tell you something. They're not making another Black Panther for a while. They probably won't even make... First of all, let me break this down for y'all so y'all can understand what's going on. And correct me if I'm wrong. James, Youngblood, any of y'all, correct me if I'm wrong. It was black folk who saved Marvel. Marvel was getting ready to be bankrupt before they put out the great movie Blade by Wesley Snipes, who told them to put out the Black Panther, and they didn't want to do it. They didn't want to do the Black Panther. Because you know how these white folk are. They think they know what people want to see. Y'all don't know what people want to see. They said that the Aztec civilization was extinct, but truthfully, the Aztec descendants are Mexicans. Exactly. Let me tell you, I'm gonna keep saying, I had no problem with the Aztecs being in this movie. I love that part. But what I did not like was us bucking our eyes and running and hiding and not knowing how to navigate the water when these dominant society people know the Moors ruled the ocean. First of all, if you read they came before Columbus, when Columbus needed to get to the Americas, he got lost. Correct me if I'm wrong. He got lost. He didn't even know where the fuck he was going. So he had to go back to the Spanish crown because he got lost. And then the Moors was able to navigate him to different, parts of the world. Like they were able to navigate to the Americas, and which he thought was India. That's why he called them Indians or whatever. But the Moors ruled the sea. And the Moors really wanted to kill Christopher Columbus because they knew he was a shiesty piece of shit. You know what I mean? But I like how they don't. I'm almost waiting to see when they're going to make a movie about the Moors. Because they're not. They're not going to make no movie about no damn Moors. Because they don't want people knowing that history and knowing what was going on then. I just didn't like the false narrative that was portrayed about black folk and running and bucking our eyes. Okay, what you want us to be, violent? Or you want us to be bucking our eyes? Now, which one do you want? Because some of this shit, and it reminds me of the corporate plantation too. You have people, even the Kyrie Irving thing again. I'm going to address this one last time. Kyrie just standing on his principle. Now people are starting to backtrack because they know that movie was harmless and it had nothing to do with being the way they portrayed that brother to be. And now people are starting to pile on. I've been listening to Jason Williams, the analyst for ESPN. He said some very, very, very imperative things. Like, Sarah Silverman, you dressed up in blackface and said, nigga, we didn't make you apologize and do all this bogus bullshit. See, they want, because if you watch the movie Buck Breaking by Tariq Nasheed, like Lord Jamar said, if they make us accept it, the world will accept it. See, we don't even know that we set the trends. Like I was talking to my brother David on Instagram Live. I'm like, bro, we set the trends. We don't have to go buy Gucci and be in here arguing with these people because these people don't want our money. Go invest in some black businesses. Take pride. It's just people that got money don't take pride in being black a lot of the times. They take pride in being liked by the dominant society. Aztec descend from pre-Columbians, and pre-Columbians descend from West Africans. They're not telling the truth. See, now that part of history, I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I don't know. I don't know. I just know about Quetzalcoatl. That's all I know about. I know he's a serpent king. The Mayans worshiped him as a god and a deity. And the Mayans had their pyramids, but their pyramids were not like our pyramids. Let's see. Listen to the book on Audible, 37 hours and 10 hours, and there's still no sign of anti-Semitism. Oh, wow. Wow. Hey, good looking out, Brother James Youngblood, man. See, I didn't know that. But you know what? I don't know if David mentioned that book, but I've heard several people mention it, but not this year. Years ago. I might have been listening to a Hebrew Israelite talk about that. But that book is old, if I'm not mistaken. That's not a new book. It ain't like somebody sat there and said, I'm going to be anti-Semitic and write this book. I think that book is old. I don't think that's a newer book. But I think they're just trying to use that as a proxy. But y'all need to understand, Kyrie Irving also stood his ground on getting that jabby jab. So, they already got issues with him about that anyway. They like to buck break us. You know what I mean? So, like I spoke before, Shaq, shut up and sit down. You have no knowledge of what you're speaking about. You don't know what you're saying. You just jumping in there. Shaq is telling about the gun line boss from Life. Remember Life? Tell him about the gun line boss. Now this here is the gun line. Tell him about the gun line boss. You don't cross that line. What happens if you cross that line, boss? Tell him what's gonna happen if they cross that line. That type of thing, that rhetoric, that Sambo behavior of Then you calling them names and idiots, and it's like, Shaq, stop, bro. Stop. Now, Kyrie Irving would have been out of line to be like, you're going to call me an idiot, but your people is on VH1 making a mockery out of black women with the show called Basketball Wives. Now, what if he would have said that? Not only they making a mockery, they making black women look bad on TV. That's attached to you too. But I'm not calling you no idiot. We just have to understand this, man. We have to understand this. That's why my brother David was talking about the Asian Revolution when McIndoe and them was like, all right, we gotta kill these niggas first. Because these niggas gonna run and tell and they want to get past. Too many Hayward Shepherds in the world too. Like I said, if you're not very read or you haven't like been searching for knowledge and reading, you're gonna be at the core plantation, be throwing your people under the bus, not even knowing that you're doing it. I've done it before. I'm not gonna act like I'm perfect. You know, you get on the job and people are pressured. This is years and years and years and years and years ago. And people are pressured, hey man, you gotta work hard, man, because you know they watching. So you know, you getting that, I'm gonna work hard mode. Then they bring up another nigga that's lazy. You like, well, I don't know why you doing that. I work hard. That's still throwing your brother under the bus. Once you start discussing your brother or sister with the dominant society with negative intent, that's throwing your brother or sister under the bus. And don't let these people have you talking about you lazy and all this other stuff, man, please. The dominant society is the most laziest, violent society on the planet. They didn't build anything, and they take credit for everything. Until it's a negative connotation behind it, then they don't want to take credit for it. So we got to look at that stuff too, man, because I was just like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, wow, some of this stuff is mind-boggling how these narratives will be painted. That's why I always suggest people go read this book called The Burglary, J. Edgar Hoover's Secret FBI. It basically talks about COINTELPRO. You know what I mean? That's why I always say, well, where are these dominant society white people at? Who they broke into the FBI building and published them papers about black folk. Where are these white folk at? I don't need no white folk retweeting shit thinking that they standing up for black folk. We need you to tell us what's being said when we're not in the room. If you can do that, then maybe we can have a conversation. But we need more of that. We don't need people smiling with us in public and then in private not telling us nothing. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna say it one more time. Stop it. Look, don't even worry about Kanye. Look, that was on him. You know, we like to dissect other racial groups. And I get it because they dissect us. But you have to understand, other racial groups are part of the system of racism and white supremacy. It's all one group, and it's systematic. And this infrastructure works by maintaining it. A lot of black folk maintain it for them. That's why Stacey Abrams, a.k.a. the Pine Saw Lady, that's why she lost. And they gonna blame it on black men and blame it on, you know, the grassroots people, but I don't care. Just like in Las Vegas, Nevada, Sheriff Lombardo, a Republican, won, which I knew was gonna happen because black folk are waking up and knowing we ain't getting no tangibles. Y'all not doing nothing for us. We got Lawrence Weekly, who's a Clark County commissioner. And you got, I forgot the black dude's name, that's a councilman. They don't care about niggas, man. They care about maintaining their seat and their status quo. And Steve Sisolak definitely don't. People think because they're a Democrat that they not racist. Y'all need to get off that bullshit. It's more racist Democrats than any Republican you'll probably ever meet. Not that I'm a Republican, but most Republicans are blunt and upfront, and they gonna tell you how the hell they feel about situations. And they don't care. Because they got money, and what you gonna do to them? Democrats are very, very covert about. It's like the corporate plantation. You have more covert racism than overt racism, where they just telling you like they don't deal with you. And then what they do is at the corporate plantation, they change and they move the goalposts. Like I said, I got love for Ryan Coogler with Wakanda Forever, but I was highly disappointed that we was bucking our eyes and running away from another racial group. I didn't like that at all. And you know what? You damn right. Warren is, look, immigration, get their asses up out of here. I don't care what color you are. I don't care how this offends you. But black folk have built this country, and we do not get the respect that we deserve because they open up the floodgates for immigrants to come over here and do the dirty work. And then they come over here with this, oh, my family came over here with $1 in their pocket and they built the empire. I don't want to hear that shit. No, the Pine Saw Lady. Yeah. And then you go on there and you like, hey man, what's up reparations? Nah. And some people feel like, oh well, we go like Roland Martin with his rottweiler head ass up here talking about, look, y'all stupid and now, y'all think the Republicans gonna give y'all some reparations? We not saying that the Republicans gonna give us reparations, but we know y'all not. Y'all not having no black agenda. That's why I did that podcast about vote. Y'all niggas wanna go in and vote, man, good luck. And no dissing nobody, but what has voting got black folk in the last 50 years? Let's just go 50 years. It got us a Latino councilman that said that black kid was a monkey in LA and fuck that guy, he's with the blacks. That's what it's got us. It's got us in Las Vegas where we're the inferior ones and mentally where people are so worried about us rise up as a people, they appoint other racial groups as supervisors and managers at this corporate plantation. You don't see black people in charge of nothing at all. You don't see that. I don't care if you go work at these casinos, go work anywhere. Go work for these government jobs. In the words of Malcolm X, the ballot of the bullet, if we keep throwing our vote behind people who do nothing for us, it makes us a political chump. Exactly. As Dr. Claude Anderson says, vote for what? Compete with what? We own 1/2 of 1% of the nation's wealth. And 98% of the nation's wealth is held in a dominant society. And you want to tell us to compete. Stop. And a lot of us have to have, I would say, intrinsic value in you so you can learn how to invest in your brother. That's all it takes. But I feel like we don't want to do that because we don't want to see each other shine. Like I said, man, I love promoting other people's stuff. Shout out to my homegirl Roxanne. She does dreads. She did a good job. You know what I'm saying? She's been doing a good job. She's booked all the time. And I really want, what I want for her? To be so booked where she got to open up a shop and she ain't got to be working at no corporate plantation. That's what I want for her. I want my people to win. I'm not one of those type of people where I want you to win as long as I got a piece of it. Nah, just win. I'm going to send referrals your way. I'm going to send people your way because I want my people to win. You know what I mean? We need to do like Dr. Claude Anderson said and leverage our votes for your own issues like reparations. Facts. That's why a lot of times when I have these conversations with black folk, before I even like get into the crux of it, I'm like, have you heard of Dr. Claude Anderson? They're like, no, who is that? I'm like, man, you need to read that book. And then I don't even try to go into it with it because they be trying to explain, because the Democrats have made the Republicans the boogeyman. But see, what I liked about Donald Trump, not that I voted for him, but I liked he was an equal opportunity racist, which means he was going in on every other racial group and not just us. See, other racial groups like it when we're the punching bag. They don't like it when motherfuckers start talking about them. And reparations can happen if we stick together and be on code, as Neely Fuller Jr. says. We gotta establish a code. Stop having this four-wall effect. The most terrifying thing when I speak to my white political affiliates is when I tell them I plan to vote in my best interest. Exactly. Now let me tell you something, Erica. That's some real shit. But let me tell you something. Let's put this out there. There are a lot of dominant society people who have read our stuff and know who we are. And they know what's going on. And they're very slow to speak because they know. And then there's a lot of white society people that have not read anything. And then you will get this from people. Well, I don't care who they are. They both suck and all this other stuff. And they both not for the people. That's, to me, the most simplistic way that I think the dominant society does to stop arguments and all that. And that's fine because they probably don't want to argue with you. But I don't expect the dominant society or people in that society, any other racial group, I don't expect them to understand where we come from because we are a special people, as Dr. Claude Anderson speaks about. So you're not going to understand where we come from. You're not going to understand what we built. We have to stop waiting for the approval of other racial groups or the dominant society. I think we want that so bad. We don't want to do our own research and read books like They Came Before Columbus or Never Caught or any of those things, But see, I give them an open and closed statement. Don't ask me no more about how I'm moving. Exactly. And honestly, to tell you the truth, what Erica's saying is right on. I'm voting my interest. Well, what are your interests? I don't feel like getting into that, but I'm voting my interest. They'll leave it alone. Educated people will leave it alone, but y'all gotta understand, a lot of educated people will leave it alone, but y'all can't treat everybody like they're educated. And I'm not trying to be like, I'm so educated, but after reading Dr. Claude Anderson's Black Labor, White Wealth and Powernomics, and then reading the new Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander, I was like, oh, okay, this is crazy. Like, yeah, they really are playing a big game. And they do it with movies. Like that, bro, like you have to watch Wakanda. I know you don't way too extreme, but the Aztec brother, Quetzalcoatl, at the end, he just was like, no, because one of his people was like, we should have killed them and woo woo. And he was like, no, because nobody knows about us in the underworld, but everybody knows about Wakanda. So when they come from Wakanda, they're going to want to partner with us. And it's like, wait, hold on. Nigga, we built this shit. We ain't got to partner with you. I just didn't like that bucking of the eye. It's just like political warfare stuff. I hope Herschel Walker beat Warnock, and I'm glad Stacey Abrams lost, and I'm glad Steve Sisolak in Vegas lost. And you're like, well, Warren, why would you want your state to be red? You know what? If you're not gonna speak on black issues, then I don't care I don't care if you win or lose. I don't have no dog in the fight if you're not worried about black issues. I fully agree with you when you start talking about cinema symbolism and everybody needs to see how they're using our children to build up their army and black self-hating youth. It's a fact. Erica, that's a fact. That's why I didn't like that movie in particular, the bucking of the eyes and the being scared, because that's how when you were raised up in black Christianity, you're raised to buck your eyes and be afraid. And don't piss these white folk off. And I get it to a certain degree because you don't want to mess up your bag, but not to the point where you just walking around bucking your eyes every time a black person say something that's out of turn or not in alignment with the dominant society. You buck your eyes. That's all I'm saying. It's gonna be a runoff again with Warnock. Damn. Turn the other cheek. Exactly. Oh, I want Warnock to look. Let me tell you, Las Vegas, boy. I think Captain Cortez, that mop head woman, won. I wanted it to be a red wave across the United States of America just to show how powerful the black vote is. And people are like, well, why would you do that? And I'm gonna say it again. When a person tells me, because I've already had this, when a person tells me, if you don't vote, you can't complain, my response and your response and everybody that's listening response to be, my taxes tell me different. And they're going to be like, what do you mean? My taxes tell me I can still complain. What you mean? My taxes is paying for the school buses, the streets, the sanitation, trash, all that. So you going to tell me I can't complain? No, I can still complain. Or don't take no taxes out of my check that I'm getting every 2 weeks. And they'll leave you alone, because I've done that before to people too. And they're like, oh, well, you got to pay tax. No, I don't. Don't take no tax out of my check and I won't complain. I mean at all. Now people are like, oh, well, you got to pay taxes. Okay, well, then if I'm going to pay taxes, I'm going to complain. It's like going to a restaurant. They're not giving me the food for free. I got to pay for it. So if I don't like what the hell I'm eating, I'm going to complain. You know what I mean? Man. And people try to hit you with that, man, oh, I be killing and I try not to, because I know a lot of black folk that I speak with, they haven't read a lot. So I don't try to like be a bully and walk around battling people. But what I try to do is make it as plain as I can without even throwing out books. That's why I don't even throw out a book. I'm telling you, I've got a couple people. You don't vote? No. Well, then you should be complaining. And I'm like, my taxes tell me different. And they're always like, well, what does that mean? I'm like, my taxes tell me different. As long as they take taxes out of my check, I'm going to have something to say. That's like being a silent partner in a multi-million-dollar business. If I'm investing in it, I don't care if the business is worth $5 million, but I invested $10,000. Nigga, I got input. I'm investing in this. So you can't tell me nothing. And that's what y'all got to understand, man. Don't let these people vote shame you. And I get in my older crowd, they want to vote for Joe 94 crime bill Biden. Well, you go ahead and do that. But Joe's not going to get reelected. He knows that, and everybody else know it. And I hope they make it super hard for him. And I see in Georgia, they try to bring out Obama, a.k.a. Barry Soetoro, a.k.a. an immigrant, a.k.a. an anti-black person that was in the office that didn't say one word about black folk, and then you get out of office 5 years later, you talk about, oh, well, there was a lot of, racism, white supremacy I had to deal with. Okay, but whatever, nigga. We just know that your grandmother gave you $450,000 to go to college, and you up here talking about you a community activist. But don't nobody know you're related to Dick Cheney. Stop. Barry Soetoro, as in BP oil. Stop, man. We got to get off that, man, and change the narrative. That's why these movies, like this one, whoever goes and watched Black Panther, even, I like their costumes when they were red and they were chic for the women. That new costume they designed, it looked like some Power Ranger shit. And I was like, what are they doing? Like, they're turning this into a mockery. Come on, man. It just was a mockery, man. Y'all gotta watch it. All the bucking of the eyes. Basically, I've seen them. And they underwater. And you cannot kill them. I'm like, man, Ryan, I love you, my brother, man, but Jesus. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard they have two of the Dora Milaje in a relationship with each other. Is that true? Yep. You know that they was going to put that in there. And it's that one sister. They all got the bald head, so you don't really know, and they catch them from afar. It's that one sister that was in Civil War when they were walking King T'Challa to his car, and Agent Romanoff was right there, and that sister said, "Move or I will remove you." And T'Challa was like, "Is interesting as that would be, I must go." You know what I mean? Yeah, of course they're gonna push. Look. You might call me simple. I was willing to compromise that just to keep the integrity of us not bucking our eyes and being scared and pulling up. It's like, damn, man, like what is this? You got us bucking our eyes and running away, and it's like, we got the melanin, we got the vibranium. Now all of a sudden somebody, no, just y'all don't got the vibranium, they got it too. Man, stop. If you read They Came for Columbus, I know my brother David read it. What did Christopher Columbus write in his diary when they got to Africa? He said, I've never seen metal like that. They had metal I've never seen before. Anywhere. Now all of a sudden, somebody else got it. Man, get the fuck out of here. But anyway, man, I'm over my time. James Youngblood, bro. Good looking out for the information. Erica, you already know. We on Twitter all day long, all day strong. Dave for No Compromise. Please go check out my brother's podcast, No Compromise TV. Please go check this brother out. Follow him on social media. Hey man, like I said, I like my podcast like this. I don't do clout chasing. David already know that. I want David's shit to be big. I don't want my stuff to be big because my IG is Warren Music. What is it? WARRENMUZIC. And then David's, I gotta, David, if you can, put yours in the chat. And it's No Compromise TV on Twitter for David's Twitter space, because a lot of times we do Twitter spaces too. But I told David that on IG, like, we can take it back to IG, man, because it's too much Hollywood on Twitter, man. Everybody wanna. There you go. At Daffody Corley _ at Daffody _ Corley. Me and David already talked about that, man. It's a lot of Hollywood shit on. I get everybody is being conscious, but I feel like people are just going in people's spaces. And you got a lot of agent provocateurs and stuff like that. So I've kind of backed off that for a minute. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, David, man, we're going to have to start, instead of doing spaces, we're going to have to start doing the IG now. So you can upload it to your page. We did enough spaces. I'm not that I'm over the spaces, but it's too much Hollywood shit on the spaces. So we can go back to IG, and then we can go back and forth and do it like that. But hey, man, I appreciate everybody out there, man. Please, man, I would highly suggest you go read this book called The Burglary, J. Edgar Hoover's Secret FBI. Either go read that book. What's a good book? Or you can read Never Caught, The Untold Story of Una Judge. That's George Washington and Martha Washington's slave. That's a very good book too. Or you can read Slavery by Another Name by Douglas Blackman. That's a very good book too. There's a lot of good books out there, man. And I got to promote. It's the Dope Analog Store out here in Vegas, Black Bookstore. I'm gonna try to go back and get an IG live with these sisters on there. They're really, really dope sisters, and I bought a couple of books from them. You know what I mean? Dope bookstore. I loved it. We had a great conversation, and it's just about knowledge. It's not about knowing more than the next person. It's about learning from the next person, staying in your lane, building. We gotta get into the habit of wanting to build with people. I remember one time. This was funny. I don't talk to these people no more, but I told one homeboy, I said, hey man, I'm doing a podcast. He went, how many followers you got? I was like, well, what does that matter? Let's build together. Oh man, well, how many followers you got? I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm laughing because I'm like, bro, you can buy followers on YouTube and these social media platforms. But I guess, man, you know how we are. Let's get into the habit of building and not tearing shit up. Less Tasmanian devil mentality and more building. Let's do good work and build. And building isn't just building a platform and all that. Building is supporting your black brother and sister. You know, if they got a black business, recycle those dollars. It's not that deep. Tell whoever you know. Tell other racial groups. I do. Why you do that, Warren? Because them other racial groups don't mind peddling their shit around us. So peddle your shit around them. Hey man, it's been fun. It's been real. I appreciate everybody, you know what I'm saying, handling business. You already know who I am. You know what it is. Please, 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 let's work together and have intrinsic value in each other. And you already know what it is. And in the saying of slavery by another name, if you're out there, Sambone and Cooney, you already know I'm going to hit you with guilty, nigga. I'm out. Peace.